I'm trying to complete every lifetime wish in The Sims 3. I want to start this video by again giving a huge thank you for all the support on the first two videos. I don't have the capacity to respond to every comment, but I do see them and I do read them, and they are greatly appreciated. In fact, I want to quickly bring one up that I really like. Someone made the suggestion to roll the next wish and traits at the end of the videos to open the opportunity to you lovely people watching to make suggestions about potential mini challenges or ideas. I like this, particularly the mini challenge part, so I'm gonna add the next roll at the end of this video and see how that turns out. It won't change the main goal of these videos, which is to complete the lifetime wish, but it could add a little something else to work towards for a potential reward, and we can talk about that more at the end. But for now, let's not waste any time and hop into the lifetime wish. You know the drill by now. First, we have to pick the wish. Another career-based one. There are quite a few of those, so I'm not really surprised. Someone else also mentioned giving a brief explanation to the lifetime wish. Sorry about that. I normally go into these blind, so I didn't think to do that. Distinguished director. Reach the top of the film career, director branch. Now the traits. Same as before. We'll break it into the 4 categories, pick one from each, roll for another category, and pick the last trait. Starting with mental, then physical, social, natural born performer. That's almost kind of fitting, I suppose, if she was going into like the actor side. And lifestyle, equestrian. Don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but alright, I'll have to think of something. Now another category, so another physical, sailor. Wow. Another trait that I have no idea what I'm gonna do with. So this time we have a sim who is absent-minded, unlucky, natural-born performer, equestrian, and sailor. With everything decided, let's get this wish going. This is Monica's story, and she has always wanted to tell a story. The problem is, she could never keep herself focused long enough to write her ideas out in a book. She was always moving, never spending enough time to put her thoughts together, and her interest in the vast range of activities from boating to horses never gave her something to focus on. But what she was good at was finding a performance, from herself and other people. And that's when it hit her. She could tell her stories in the most attention-grabbing way possible. She could make movies. This revelation brought her to Bridgeport. And Monica had invested everything she had to buy a plot of land far enough away from the city to make her own little movie sets. After building a little trailer to live in, though, she had to save what she had left because she was going to need it to impress some of the talent to act in her productions. She headed over to the grocery store to get some stock for her fridge, and then straight to the open bar to get her face out in the masses. She might have also had a drink. It's 4 p.m. somewhere, right? After idling for a while, some people finally started to trickle in. Monica could see star power from a mile away, so she zoned in on Tiara and Jalista. The 2-star celeb was a perfect first introduction to start networking, but she didn't want to talk. Didn't stop Monica though, she just turned on the charm and lied. She told Tiara that she had this great career and that she was amazingly wealthy, all things that she planned to be someday. Before long, Tiara was comfortable and Monica was bumped up to a 1-star celebrity. She then found out that Tiara was an actor, perfect for a future cast in her first film. Then she ate some dirt, found out Tiara was single and tried to flirt with her, but she didn't seem that into it, so after securing a friendship, she moved on to talk with some more bar patrons. She introduced herself to a few more people and shoved some hot wings down her throat before heading home. She still needed to get an actual job in filmmaking to get any of her movie dreams off the ground, so she flipped through the paper and found an opening. The next morning, Tiara sent an inappropriate text asking for some woohoo. Yeah, let's do it. Tiara actually came over and went straight for it, but Monica kind of forgot that she was the one who agreed to this and got completely creeped out. Don't think too much about it, Tiara. Monica can be forgetful like that sometimes. She eventually remembered that she was kinda into Tiara when they met. Part of it was the drink, but she did actually like her. She even wrote the wish for Tiara to be her girlfriend, and having a celeb romance could only help her image, so... And now she is a 2-star celebrity. You know the drill though. If you're going to be a romance interest, we have to... There we go. Somehow successfully boosting her social standing in the world of the rich and famous overnight, Monica headed to a dance club to celebrate and see if she could meet some more potential actors. A 5-star celebrity, Lola Bell, was there, but Monica wasn't ready for that yet. She was going to keep it humble for her first production and cast some recognizable but not overpowering talent, like Stella Stryker, who was hanging out at the club as well. Monica started working on a friendship and the girls hung out, giving Monica a chance to pitch some movie ideas to her. She did have to work the next day though, so she headed home to get some sleep so she could be ready for her first day in the film career. She had to grind in order to get to the fun stuff of making an actual movie. At least her girlfriend invited her over for a party later. Monica had a fun time at the party anyway. It was mostly just a chance to network some more though, so she introduced herself to as many people as she could and prepared for another day at work. Now that she had gotten her name out a bit, Monica thought that she should invest some of the money she saved on starting a set to make her first movie come to life. All that was left was to secure her actors. Leisure Day was coming up, so she would have some downtime to charm them. Until then, she hit the gym to finish her task to work out for 4 hours and got some celebrity notoriety for it. Then she hit the bar again for a drink. She made it back home at 5 a.m., so her leisure day started with her sleeping in. She couldn't sleep the day away though, so she got up to make some breakfast. Or set the house on fire, that works too. Her house no longer in flames, she planned a party. This get-together had 2 jobs. 1, she could have some fun, and 2, she could pitch the idea of acting in her movie to all of her potential actors. She got things set up and started introducing herself to the guests. After having a conversation with several people, she made the decision on the cast. She broke the news to her girlfriend Tiara later, and they celebrated. The next day, she had a test to order a drink from a bar, so it seemed like a good opportunity to actually go on a date with Tiara. Unfortunately, the bar was dead, so Monica ordered the drink from the adult Caillou bartender and then headed to a place where the real party was. They did some dancing, shared some smooches, you know, date things, and she made her way home at 5 a.m. again. We really need to stop pulling these all-nighters, Monica. It can't be good for you. She still had to make progress on her movie though, so she invited the cast over. Since they were going to be part of the crew, Monica had to call in the makeup department and give them all a makeover. The filming went great, but then it started to turn into something more like a house party, and it was honestly too much for Monica. She had a late night and was feeling tired, so she took a nap and eventually forgot what she had people over for. She needed to catch up on sleep anyway because the next day was back to work. She had gotten an opportunity earlier to increase her celebrity level by becoming friends with Emmy Starr. Lucky for Monica, she was just standing outside, staring at the factory door of the studio. I imagine that this is what all actors do when they're not in front of a camera, so nothing out of the ordinary here. All Monica had to do to complete her task was become Emmy's friend. Little did I know just how frustrating this very seemingly simple task would be. Monica tried her normal tactics of dropping little white lies to try to impress her. She even tried name-dropping Tiara, but her girlfriend was just as much of a nobody as she was, so that didn't work. She eventually was able to convince Emmy to give her the time of day, but every other interaction with her turned sour, undoing any progress that she made towards becoming friends. Eventually, Monica just gave up for the day because it was getting late and she just went home. The next day, nothing overly important happened. She went to work and she did get a promotion. The next morning, she was late on paying her bills. 3,000 simoleons? Oh, we might be in trouble. Monica is a director and she should not be trusted with her own budget for movie making, as is apparent from her inability to pay the bills. Her paycheck was not enough and she had opportunity to jog for an hour, but even after turning that in, she was short. She could think of no other option than to ask for help, so she called Tiara over. If Tiara was willing to be in one of her movies and date her, maybe she wouldn't mind living with her. So Monica eased into the conversation and eventually asked Tiara to move in hopes of having another source of income to fund her production. And she would get to live with her girlfriend, so that was a plus. With Tiara moving in, Monica could cover the bills, and Tiara had this cat named Honey, so they have a pet now too. Now that the bills were paid, both Monica and Tiara were off to work the next day, and Monica got an off-site opportunity. I actually didn't know this was a thing with this career, so I learned something new this playthrough. The next day, with a bit of money in reserve, it was time to throw the wrap party for the film she had been working on. Monica called the crew over and even invited Emmy Starr to visit the set in hopes to work on that friendship. Monica tried again to connect to her. She still struggled to make much progress, though. This woman is the most wishy-washy sim that I have ever dealt with. She ended the night with some progress, but not enough to call Emmy a friend because she had to entertain the other party guests. The wrap party was successful, though, and now it was time to edit and grind at work so she could get her movie to the masses. The next day, the house was a mess from the party, so the girls cleaned up before heading to the club to complete one of Tiara's opportunities. Unfortunately, the club was dead, so Monica went to practice her charisma in the mirror. She should probably be working on her writing and editing, but her ability to sweet-talk enough celebrities into being her friends was helping get her name out there. They went home after that and spent a quiet Sunday around the trailer. Monica thought it would be a good idea to invite Emmy over to try to butter her up to friendship. The paparazzi eventually tracked them down though, so they made a change of venue and went out clubbing. Monica cranked up the charm, but it still wasn't enough to impress this stubborn diva to be her friend, and Monica was about to pass out around 3 a.m., so she called it a night and got ready for bed and work the next day. Work was pretty straightforward, and later that night, Monica called Emmy, and she's her friend now. Wow, we should have just called her on the phone sooner. I guess she's just not an in-person type of gal. With that annoying task out of the way, things were pretty boring for a bit. And of course, this wouldn't be The Sims without some weird glitches. It was another sound glitch this time, and the ice cream truck music was stuck centered on Tiara. It followed her everywhere, and as you could guess, I could only stand a few minutes of this before it started to drive me crazy. Since quitting to menu fixed the issue last episode, I tried it again here and it worked like a charm. Good, I didn't have to kick Tiara out to save my sanity. After putting in the work for a few days, it was time to take a break, so after work they hit the club and Monica ran into Matthew Hemming, a 5-star celebrity and an opportunity to possibly get someone else talking about her movie. So she got a decent relationship with him established before going home for the day. All the opportunities and appearances they have been making allowed Monica and Tiara to keep a bit of savings. Tiara had been asking to move to a more suitable location than Monica's production lot, and even though she wanted to save more money for the next production, she agreed. They bought a second property in a high-rise in town and moved in right before the weekend. The change of scenery did call for a new look to match their rising celebrity status and improving house options. The new house was just in time because it was Tiara's birthday Saturday, and being a party animal she is, a party was required. After rearranging some furniture temporarily to make some space and ordering pizza, the guests arrived, Tiara aged up, and I had to redo the makeover I just did after the pigtails made another appearance.
I make this look good.
Tiara's look restored, they entertained the party guests, and Monica managed to make a friendship with Matthew Hemming. He said he would put in a word with the director of his current film to see if he could get her a movie in the film festival. In terms of day-to-day life though, it was all about grinding out opportunities, mostly for celebrity points. Monica had made it to level 5 in charisma, she'd been schmoozing so much. But work was still the focus, and it was time. Matthew had come through and gotten Monica's movie a screening. The studio gave her permission to pass out some tickets, so she headed to the nearby club. Oh my, Caillou is duplicating. I think I should be concerned about this. Should I be concerned about this? Replicating bartenders aside, she gave out all of her tickets, and now she just had to wait to see how it would be received. The next day at work was nerve-wracking. What would people say? What would her boss say? For a low-budget film from a nobody director, the crowd loved it, and it earned Monica a promotion to production manager. She was one step away from turning her career down the path of directing. This advancement was right on time because there were double reasons to celebrate, because it was also Monica's birthday. She and Tiara went to celebrate at their favorite dance club, and she aged up, rocking the trademark pigtails and a big smile from her promotion. It was quiet for the next couple days as Monica put her head down to push for her next promotion. After studying up with some reading for work opportunities, she got promoted to storyboard artist and was finally able to get to work on crafting her next film. Oh crap. Monica knew she had forgotten about something. She was supposed to be working on her next script. She quickly bought herself a laptop and got to writing. That Friday, though, was Love Day, and Monica reflected on how dedicated her spontaneous relationship with Tiara had become. She wanted to make things official. In the cool, frosty spring air, they visited the butterfly sanctuary, and she showered her with fluffy, soft words before giving her a ring and moving their relationship to the next level. Tiara had to celebrate their last days of being unmarried, so she planned a bachelorette bash at their favorite club and called in everyone she could. Monica was invited too, and the party began with Tiara's co-star in Monica's movie, Sugar Wordy now since she got married, going into labor on the dance floor. And eventually some dancers showed up looking like the Bride of Frankenstein and Rosie the Riveter's discount cousin and gave the crowd a show. And by around 6 a.m., the club finally kicked them out. It was interesting to see how long it would let them stay because the club technically closed at 3 or 4. Didn't know that it would let me stay that long. That rager was more than enough to satisfy their need to party for a while though, but they didn't want to wait, so they got married in a private ceremony in their hallway at home, making Tiara a 4-star celebrity like her new wife, and the happy couple was officially married. With such a big change in their life, it seemed like an opportunity to make another massive change. They had never really thought that much about children, but they agreed that it would be nice to have someone they could leave their legacy to and opted to adopt. I flipped a coin to see if they would adopt a girl or a boy, like a literal coin, and it ended up being a boy. Monica wanted to name him, so sticking with the reality that celebrities have a habit of naming their kids something weird, and Monica's unrealized love of horses that she can't explore much because she lives in the city, meet Clydesdale, their new son. He got the big city makeover and a new room in the apartment before getting to know his new parents for a bit. After that, it was the start of another work week and school for their new son, so everyone in the house was busy. After a hard week focused on her new script, Monica managed to pull another promotion to second unit director, and it was her year anniversary, so she got a little bonus. Monica was in full swing of trying to career boost now, grinding out the writing skill that she had completely neglected up until this point and trying to get to know her new son at the same time. It was finally Saturday and Monica was ready to start shooting the new movie. The family would have to move back to the trailer lot for the weekend to prepare, and the event doubled as a surprise party because it was also Clyde's birthday. They decked out the set with balloons and tables and invited over some of the biggest names who were going to be starring in Monica's movie shoot that weekend. The place was packed with stars, and Clyde blew out the candle to age into a teen with an unflirty trait. Alright. With her son's party a success, it was time to call in the makeup crew and get this bunch of folks into costume. Monica had a movie to shoot. The family spent the weekend finishing the filming, and by Sunday, Monica thought it was time to make a big change. With the studio backing, she was able to sell them her filming lot and collect a healthy check from it. With the funds, she also sold their apartment and moved the family into a new chic home fit for stars of their level. As she continued to focus on her career, Clyde was having some pretty bad mood swings now that he was a teenager. He woke up in a bad mood and wanted to skip school, so he ditched and headed over to the festival. He got some celebrity autographs and played some games. Then he got the idea to prank the school. He went in to try to release the science frogs and got caught. He was going to try again and... oh no. I guess the cops might have something to say about that. I mean, look, she was so upset she drove him home with her umbrella firmly in her hand and jutting out of the top of the car. Clyde was going to hear it from his moms when they got home. And hear it he did. Monica came home and let him have it, grounding him and straining their relationship that they had built up to this point. A little later, I remembered that Tiara had been gifted a hot tub, and it seemed like a fun idea to put it in the yard. I realized that they had a bunch of gifts from when they got married, so they sold them all in 42,000 simoleons? Oh my. With the extra cash, the family bought a car, and Monica spent the rest of the night working on her film. Clyde was still in trouble for a while, and I was reminded of a really annoying feature of the punishment system. When your teen is grounded and they go to school, the parents stop them, saying that they're grounded. Then if they go to school, they get in trouble again. An annoying loop of issues I didn't care to deal with, so I just teleported Clyde outside so he could get on the bus. After school and detention, Clyde tried to be forgiven by doing chores, but instead he got another scolding because skipping school made his grades drop. He and Monica were having a rough time, and even at dinner that night, while Clyde tried to make up his homework, he and Monica could not say the right words to one another to put their relationship back on the mend. They were going to have to keep working at it. Since they were celebrities, I built a tall fence around their house to keep the paparazzi out, and life went on pretty normally for a while. Unfortunately, Clyde and Monica's relationship was still struggling though. I had downloaded a mod to try to assist with the punishment issue. This mod lets you choose when to scold a kid or teen so that they can still allow them to do certain things without the game forcing the parent to scold them. That Friday was spooky day, so Clyde didn't have school and he built up his good boy points by doing chores around the house. So Monica forgave him. He liked it better when Monica wasn't yelling at him. He was really trying this time. At least that's what he said, but when Saturday rolled around and his parents were called away for a movie shoot or something, he wasn't really paying attention. He had the house to himself. Fancy house with no parent supervision. It was time to throw a party. Unfortunately, his light phone book and even lighter school attendance meant that he didn't know many people. It was mostly him, a few guys from school, and some pizza. They made it fun with what they could, and oh shit. Oh, Clyde, you are in so much trouble. He tried as hard as he could to break up the party and get his friends to leave, but he was grounded again. Oh, Clyde, why do you make things difficult for your mom? Sunday was Tiara's birthday though, so she couldn't let that keep her down. Turns out, it was also Honey's birthday too. That little cat has been with them for a long while now. After Tiara got herself fixed up, she and Monica slow danced. She's still just as beautiful as the day Monica first drunkenly flirted with her at the bar. The next day at work, Monica got her promotion to assistant director, and the cut of her film was finally finished. If it went well with audiences, then she was only waiting for that official promotion from the studio. Unlike her first film done on her own, the studio helped with this one. It went through some development issues as Monica had some family issues with Clyde and that threw her off her game, but she got it done. If it was received well in the future awards shows, she was guaranteed for the position. It was a stressful wait, and also Monica's birthday. She went to the bar to drink a bit on her own. She was so uneasy she didn't know if she wanted to be at home. But she couldn't let herself not be around her family for her birthday. They meant too much to her, so she made it back just in time to celebrate with them, and she aged up to join Tiara in the elder life stage. To Monica's relief, Clyde had settled as well, not really causing many issues and even having a nice conversation with her over breakfast. They even made it a thing to play video games together after work and school. That is, until the house spontaneously combusted. Once the fires were put out, it was time for a busy weekend. First was a holiday party celebrating Snowflake Day, and the next day after that was Clyde's birthday. They planned him a party as well, and after his turnaround and behavior, he aged up with the ability to choose a trait and got vegetarian. Being a young adult, it was time to pick his lifetime wish. He had read an article at school about some guy named Neil Novin. He was a kid from a rough background and had some issues like Clyde, but he was able to come up from nothing and become an astronaut. Some people said he was scheming and couldn't be trusted, but that was just conspiracy theories. So Clyde thought that he would follow in Neil's footsteps and aim for a military career. With Clyde's birthday a success, the next day was graduation day. The family went down to City Hall to watch him graduate, and he crossed the stage with the highest honor and was voted the most likely to be mediocre. Since they were dressed up, they went out for lunch together at the bistro, and Clyde and his mom finally buried the hatchet and got their friendship back. Feeling good about her restored relationship with her son, Monica prepared for her final review of her movie to see if she was nominated for any awards. Monica went to work, and the results were in. Her movie was a hit and got nominated for every category it could be entered in, and she was promoted to Distinguished Director, and she completed her lifetime wish. If you made it this far in the video, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support on the first two videos, and I apologize for how long this one took. I normally work on these in my free time, and between the first and second videos, I had some vacation, and that made it smoother to get the next one up. Obviously, my availability changes, and Guild Wars 2 might have released a new expansion that I've been checking out, so honestly, I haven't been 100% dedicated to this recently, but I've definitely still been working on it. I really like the idea that I mentioned in the intro about showing the next lifetime wish and traits at the end of the episodes, so you guys could possibly give me mini challenges and stuff. I don't know, maybe we could pick a few, and every time we successfully complete a mini challenge, we could use a free reroll on a trait and pick a different one. That could help with those traits, kind of like what happened in this video where the sailor trait is kind of useless. So it could be nice to re-roll traits like that for something else that could potentially be more impactful. It would still be random, just a free re-roll. Let me know what you think about that, and just keep in mind with your suggestions that I do normally try to roleplay the Sims personality, so try to keep the suggestions to something within reason for someone with the traits that we roll. I am open to justifications though, so if you feel like you can explain narratively why it works, then go for it. I mean, maybe it'll work. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and if you like this video, then please give it a like or don't. That is up to you, but I do hope that you'll come back and join us for the next lifetime wish here on the channel. Thank you all. Bye bye. Did you guys think I forgot this? I didn't forget. I just hadn't recorded it after I finished editing the rest of the video, but let's go ahead and pick the next lifetime wish. And again, this is so you guys can give me any type of mini challenges or ideas that you might have. Let's go ahead and roll the lifetime wish and see what we get. Visionary. I actually don't know what that one is. Hold on, let me go look it up. Let me see what this is. Okay, it's a skill-based one. It's like maxing the photography and the painting skill. Interesting. Okay, I mean, I think this is a good one to start with challenges because skills are pretty straightforward, so this would be a good one to throw in some tangents on other stuff to do. Now let's roll for the traits. Eccentric. Loves the heat. Great kisser. Night owl. Now let's re-roll for another category. Childish. Okay, so our next sim is going to be a visionary that's eccentric, loves the heat, great kisser, night owl, and childish. So again, if you're interested in leaving any challenges, you can go ahead and drop those down in the comments below. I'll read them all. I'll see if any of them sound like fun to try to work into the storyline. And maybe, like I said, if you think that that's a good idea that I mentioned earlier of maybe possibly being able to roll some traits that are less impactful so that we can try to get a spicier sim every episode, just let me know. And thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.